We are going to talk about potty training today. So potty training is one of those things that if it is not going well, it can feel very, very frustrating. So my goal today in this video is to just give you a couple of tips and tricks and some understanding about what's going on with potty training to hopefully help you and your puppy get off on the right track or get back on track if things are going a little funny right now. First step is going to be to make sure we have our potty door all set up and all of our stuff set up for our dog. So I want you to pick whatever door you're going to be most likely to be taking your puppy out all of the time to go potty, and we're going to just call this a potty door. So we have like a way to refer to it. And I want you to set some shoes out that are easy to get on and off and weather appropriate. I want you to set out weather appropriate clothing. So if it's really cold in the winter, I want you to put some coveralls and a jacket. If it's rainy season or it could be rainy, I want you to have an umbrella handy. And then I want you to have some shelf-stable treats that your puppy really likes. And I want you to have a notebook that you can keep track and write down every single time you go outside with your puppy what time it was, whether they pottied or they didn't, if they peed, if they pooped, or if they didn't potty at all. Okay, next we're going to talk about our potty training routine and how that's going to look. So let's talk about what it's going to look like when you take your puppy outside first. So you're going to put your puppy on leash. You're going to take them outside. You're going to stand in one spot. So you're going to pick one spot in your yard that is the potty area. And you're going to stand there for maximum 2 minutes. And if your puppy doesn't potty, they go back inside and they are under strict supervision with you. That meaning they stay on leash and they're tethered to you. You have a hold of the leash and you're keeping an eye on them. Or they go back in their crate. And we wait 10 minutes and then we take them out again and repeat and do the same thing. Now, if they go potty, you can say the second they go potty and they finish going potty, you can say yes and then give them a treat and then take the leash off if you're in an area that's appropriate and let them run around and play in the yard and explore. So we're teaching potty first, then play. And the reason why this is important is a lot of times dogs will go outside, they get excited, they're sniffing, running around the yard, wanting to play and interact with things, and they get kind of distracted and they forget to go potty. And then we take them back inside and then they go potty in the house. And we're like, what in the world is wrong with you? Like, we just took you outside. But they were a little bit distracted. So it's potty first, and then you get that freedom to play. If you don't go potty outside, you don't get to go off leash and play. If it's an area where it's not safe to go off leash, then you can just play with your puppy or follow them around the yard and let them sniff or take them on a little walk, whatever that situation is. What to do if your puppy does not potty outside. So you go outside, you stand in one spot, you wait 2 minutes, you're quiet, you're not talking to your dog, you're just giving them that chance to potty. They don't eliminate, they don't go potty. Then we go back inside and, like I just said, keep them on leash or put them in a crate. And you wait 10 minutes and you take them outside again and try again. And you just like repeat that cycle. Now, if they do go potty and they have their little time in the yard, then they can go inside and they can have some supervised time out with some freedom in the house with the family. And this does not mean that you are cooking dinner, you're doing laundry, you're working on the computer. This means there is an adult who is assigned to keeping an eye on the puppy, because we don't want that puppy to have an accident in the house and they don't quite have the skills to tell us yet. So supervised time if they've eliminated outside. Potty signs. So being able to read when your puppy needs to go to the bathroom is really, really helpful, because then we can get them outside on the right substrate, right, to eliminate and go potty. So what I look for is change of activity. So if a puppy is playing and they break off of that play and they start to go sniff, we're going outside. You need to go potty. If they start sniffing the ground and like in a circle, taking them outside to potty. If they even walk near the door that we normally go outside to potty, taking them out to potty or giving them that opportunity. one common mistake that sometimes will happen is people take their puppy outside, they go with them, they stay with them, the puppy potties, and then they go right back inside. And the puppy learns, if I go potty, then I have to go right back inside. So they try to hold it for longer. So this kind of goes along with the getting distracted thing, but sometimes I find that it's not that they're distracted. Sometimes it's that they've learned to hold it so that they don't have to go back inside. So make sure that if your puppy does enjoy being outside, that you do spend some time out there after they go potty. Right when the puppy wakes up, taking them out to potty. And you'll kind of get a feel for your puppy. I have had some puppies who, when they first wake up, they go out, they potty, they come back inside, they potty again. So with those guys, what I do is I bring them back in. I keep them on leash. I wait like 2 to 3 minutes and we go right back out and just have another chance to go. So you'll kind of learn your puppy and be able to read what you need to do and adjust there. Management is a huge piece of the success with potty training. A lot of people don't want to crate train their dog. And I get that. I understand that. I like my dogs to be out with me all the time too. But the thing is, if we don't prevent some of these undesirable behaviors as puppies, and really the best way to do that is by supervision and management, and that does include crate training and leashes, then our puppy is going to develop bad habits that end up, like, they rehearse them long enough that when they get older, we're still dealing with them and there's still a problem. So I always say less freedom now means more freedom later, because at some point you're probably going to have to introduce this. And we have a lot of people who are like, oh, well, I work from home and I whatever. Well, you never know what life is going to throw your way. Trust me, you don't know what life is going to throw your way. And your circumstances may change. Your dog may have an injury, may have to have a surgery, may have to board somewhere. And if we haven't taught them to feel comfortable under management or confinement, then that's going to be problematic and extra stressful for your dog. So I really recommend working on crate training with your puppy, and teaching them to feel comfortable and confident and calm in confinement, so that they have that ability to be confined throughout their life when you do need it. So kind of back to that supervision thing. If you are not watching your puppy, like an adult is not supervising the puppy is in a puppy area, and that can be like an exercise pen, or think of it as like a play pen for a young child, but we can use it for a puppy. We can put water in there, we can put toys in there, chews in there, we can even put their crate or a bed in there so they have somewhere to sleep and rest. And this is a good place to put your puppy when you can't supervise them. We want it to be flooring that is super easy to clean up if there are accidents, and this will prevent your puppy from having accidents all over your house. So even if they do end up having an accident in there, one, they can get out of it, so they're not learning to be dirty, right? Because in a crate, we use a small crate so that if they do go, they're in it, so that they will try to hold it. But in the puppy area, it's big enough that if we have to leave them for a longer period of time, we think they're going to have to go potty, it's not really fair to leave them in a teeny tiny little crate, tipper, and expect them to hold it when we know that they can't. Come here, buddy. So we can put them in a little bit of a larger area and let them have that space that if they do need to, they can kind of get out of it. Now I'm rambling again. Okay, so we're moving on. A leash is another great management tool, another great way to keep your puppy with you while you, like, for example, if I'm having to do some work on the computer, or I'm having to do dishes or something like that, then I'll just put the puppy, they make these leashes that go around your waist. I think it's called a buddy leash. They go around your waist and then they connect to the puppy as well. So the puppy is with you, you can keep your eye on them and your hands free, and you can do other things. But again, during this early phase, you're supervising your puppy if they're left out in the house. A quick tip I'm going to throw in here is it can be really handy to be able to tell your puppy to go potty or your dog to go potty. So I know for me, like if I'm traveling with my dogs, I'm like, look, like we got to get this done and get on the road. I got a bunch of dogs. I got a bunch of kids. Come on, do your business. We want to be able to tell them to go. So when they're puppies, as they're just starting to go potty, I'll say, go potty. They go potty. And as soon as they're finished, I'll say, yes, and feed them a treat. And so I'm putting going potty on cue, right? And you can even name both if you want. You can say go pee, or I don't know, I almost hate to say it, but I have one client that's like, go TT, and then I can't remember what they say for the other one. But you can say both if you want to, or you can just say go potty. But yeah, so you can put that on cue so that you can tell your dog to go whenever you need them to. Okay, let's talk about nighttime potty trips. So at night, if my puppy is whining in the crate, I'm going to get up, I'm going to take them outside. I'm not going to say any words to them. I'm going to put them on leash. I'm going to stand in one spot for 1 minute. If they don't go potty, I take them right back inside, put them in the crate, shut the door. I give them a couple minutes. If they continue to whine, same thing. Pick the puppy up, take them outside, 1 minute, back in the crate. And I will stay consistent on this. It's exhausting. It's like you have a newborn baby at home. It really is. That's what it feels like. But I will stay consistent on that so that my puppy learns that 1, I will respond to them, and 2, their only option is to go potty and go back to bed. The other thing to think about is I take up all food and water an hour before bedtime. And before bedtime, I make sure that I get them out to potty a couple of times. So I want empty bowels, empty bladder when we go to bed. Okay, I'm not going to cover crate training in this video necessarily, but I do want to talk about a few things because that revolves around the crate, because that is an important piece of potty training your puppy. So when we're picking a crate for potty training, we want one that is big enough for the dog to stand up, turn around in comfortably, lay down in comfortably, but we don't want to get this huge giant crate that our puppy's gonna fit in when it's older. And the reason for this is because then we have lots of extra space for the puppy to potty in there. And when we put our puppy in the crate, we want them to be comfortable, but we don't want them to have, like, we want them to feel like, I don't really want to eliminate in my crate because then I'm going to be laying in it. And if they can get away from it, they're a lot more likely to do that. So for potty training purposes, crate needs to be just big enough for the dog to stand up, turn around, lay down comfortably in. We're going to briefly talk about punishing your puppy for eliminating inside. And honestly, I don't recommend it. I see too much fallout from it. The thing is, when our puppies need to go to the bathroom and they start relieving themselves, they are feeling a sense of relief, therefore being reinforced for eliminating. So the key to this is just getting them outside to eliminate. It's really the key. But I just want you to think about this. Like, a lot of times we'll see people and they'll come home and they'll scold their puppy. Well, their puppy's already went to the bathroom, and then the owner finds it. And so it's like, oh, well, I don't want my owner to find this, because when they do, I get in trouble. So then they go hide behind the couch, or they end up in a closet or a bedroom upstairs, or, whatever. They're getting away from the people that are going to scold them for it and trying to hide it from them. We don't want that. That's not potty training. That's learning to hide it from you. Larka, come here. So we're going to try to avoid punishment just for that reason. And the other thing is, we can't scold them for every single place they eliminate in the house. So if you see your puppy about to go potty in the house, I want you to interrupt them. No, we got to go outside, and go scoop them up and take them outside to potty. It's not a big deal. We don't make it a big deal. We want our puppy to feel comfortable going to the bathroom around us. We don't want them being worried about going to the bathroom in front of us. We want them to feel very safe and confident, because I'll tell you this little story too. I've had some clients that they want to take their dog on vacation or go on these trips, and their grown dog won't go to the bathroom on leash, or won't go at a truck stop, or won't go while they're standing there. They have to go inside. And so when you're traveling, that makes it really hard, because they won't go in front of you. So we don't want them feeling uncomfortable about that, because it can make things like that very, very hard. Dogs learn what's called substrate preference. And this just means that wherever they are used to going to the bathroom is where they're going to seek out to go to the bathroom. So for example, if we have a puppy born in a shelter type environment and they're in a kennel and they're on concrete and they're not let out on grass to eliminate ever, if very often at all, then when they get older and they get adopted out, those will be the puppies or the dogs that seek out concrete patios, decks, rocks, and will want to go to the bathroom there. Even if they have a green yard that they could go to the bathroom in. And this is one reason why I personally suggest avoiding puppy pads, and that is because puppy pads, if we think about the substrate of that and the texture of that, is very similar to like a t-shirt, dirty clothes laying on the ground, or a rug or carpet. And so a lot of times we'll see puppies that will start targeting soft things like that if they have been taught to use the bathroom on a potty pad. Just as a recap, make sure your puppy is pottying in the place that you want them to go. Use management and supervision to make sure that you are not letting your puppy potty in places that you don't want them going. So if you can't supervise them, they need to be in a crate or in their puppy area or on leash with you. If you are supervising them, you're going to take them out regularly, every 30 minutes to start with, until you have 1 week of success and no potty accidents, and then you can bump that up to 45 and so on. If they start having accidents, then you'll bounce back in your plan. And let's see, potty first and then play. So make sure you take your puppy out, stand in one spot, let them potty, and then let them off leash or follow them around in the yard and let them have a little more freedom to play and run after that. Potty first, then play, supervision, management, reward your puppy when they go potty outside, and watch for those little potty signs. And stay strict on your routine. Make sure you can set a timer on your phone, but make sure you're getting your puppy out, and keep jotting down, keep track of when they go potty and when they don't, and that will help you get to know your puppy a little better and kind of start picking up on those patterns. I think that basically covers it. If you want some personalized feedback or want to chat with me about your own potty training plan, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'd be happy to chat with you and work with you to come up with a plan to work for your individual puppies, to troubleshoot things and help you guys get back on track or start off on the right foot.